Welcome back to the Bako Motorsports Power Hour, brought to you by the Bakersfield Californian. I'm Louis Amestoy, your host, the editor of the Bakersfield Californian and vice president of content here. I'm joined by Mike Griffith over there in the corner.
Just a muckety-muck bottom feeder.
Yep. You are
low life. I just don't have the title of Louis Amestoy.
Covering bear hunts and motorsports for 39 years.
Yeah, he had a lot of titles behind his name.
Yeah, a lot of titles. I guess you know what? I guess that means he's important.
I'm not, but who is important is Steve Hughes, and the weather played mayhem with your schedule last week.
A couple things you can't control.
No, a couple things
in racing, and that's the wind and the rain. We had one of those on Friday, and we kind of knew that it was coming.
Did it do any damage to the track, or is
it's destroyed, man. We've had to work 24/7.
Okay.
No, track's fine.
Track's fine.
We lost some banners. But those are easily replaceable.
Yeah.
Nobody was hurt. We did have, I think, 10 drivers there, when we finally called the race about 4:30. We kind of knew it was coming, and it was a little breezy. And then all of a sudden, man, it goes from 15 miles an hour. And, looking on my phone and checking the wind speed, they said it was 22. No, it was probably the strongest winds we've ever seen out there at the racetrack.
Yeah.
We have some... we have that sign that sits along I-5. It's just Kern County Raceway. It was the first sign that we put up there that James Vernon probably dug a hole and put this sign on. And, well, the base of it is, 10-inch I-beams that probably weigh a couple thousand pounds total. And this wooden sign is connected to it. It blew that thing over.
Oh, wow.
So, and the feet on this thing are, 15 feet wide. So it was some pretty substantial winds out there.
You just never know because how the winds behave and disrupting your dirt track.
Well, they weren't behaving last Friday.
Sure.
I can tell you that.
And winds in Bako means dust.
Yes,
dust. Lots of dust.
Lots of dust.
Lots of dust.
Yeah.
Still, you're still getting it out, or still having your ears or nose, or
I'm good.
No.
I'm good. I did 2 quick 30-second videos and got back in the truck there and hung out with some of the drivers to tell them that we were sorry and refunds and this and that, or we can next race.
They're probably ready to go though. They were probably okay with that.
They were thinking, hey, we can get this in.
Yeah.
We can get this in.
Yeah.
If you walk over to the track, it's not very windy. The track sits down
Yeah.
a little bit, of course, and it's not very windy over there. And I'm like, yeah, but getting from the front gate to back here for the spectators is probably not going to work because it was a complete blackout of dust.
We had that dust storm. It was a couple years ago on Halloween night during football, and one of our camera operators was down at Independence, or maybe it was Independence or Ridgeview. I don't think the cameras and the tripods have ever been fully free of all the dirt and dust that came out of those things. So it can definitely wreak havoc with your schedule. We did run on Saturday night, and you got your dark this weekend. Come back May 7th. What's the
on the asphalt portion of the track?
The asphalt portion.
That's
right.
Kern County Raceway.
Yeah.
That's dark this weekend.
Yeah.
The dirt track at KCRP
right.
is running this Saturday, a makeup race from last Friday.
Okay, perfect.
And you're adding what's running?
We're basically going to run the same divisions that we had planned on running last Friday, which are Pro Stocks, B Mods, Mod Lights, and Mini Dwarfs, and we're throwing A Mods into the mix as well. So 6 divisions. Well, if you count Mini Dwarfs as 2, is that 7? Yeah.
7, yep.
It could be 24 divisions. Who knows?
Okay, so that's coming up.
Right.
That's this weekend, and then
Right.
and then the
Gates at 5, racing at 7.
Then will you run on Friday night on the 6th, or just the 7th will be the only night of racing?
Just the 7th. It's
okay.
Eyewitness News Night at the races on May 7th. Taking that little bit of a break here on the 30th to get rolling. Late models, spec mods, bandoleros.
So we'll see Jason Galvin running.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh
good.
yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
We need to see him.
Got a second place finish out of that opening night for the
that was
spec
third.
mods.
Third.
It was, but we had to move a car back
A little DQ.
to the not a DQ. I don't like that word. That stands for Dairy Queen. We're not going to use that word anymore. There was a violation carburetor, and we moved that car to the last car on the lead lap.
That would be the winner.
97 of Tanner Wattenbarger, our second place finisher, got moved to the back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jason Galvin moves up to second place. So that was a good start for him. And
He was third on the track.
Third on his track.
I'm
Third
not
on the
giving
track.
Galvin any.
You're not giving
I'm
him an
not
inch?
giving him an inch.
No
Third on
quarter
the track.
for Jason Galvin.
But he did start on the pole.
Yeah.
Fall back like an anchor was tied to his car, And he was fourth, and he came back and he had a good race to get third. I will give him that.
Yeah, definitely.
He made a nice pass to get third.
He really started figuring it out about mid-race.
Yeah,
and started running. If he had a few more laps and maybe a
so
caution.
do you think he'll get a win there this season? That's been a pretty parity-filled division.
It is. There's good parity in the spec mods.
Yeah.
And if he gets a win, he's going to have to get a new helmet.
Well, yeah, we'll hear about it for the next 15 years or so.
It'll be good though.
Hey, he's a great partner for the racetrack.
Absolutely.
He does a lot of great things for us, so we appreciate it.
All right, some results. 911 Series, Kern County Sheriff with the big win on Saturday night. Over
2 in
Kern.
a row for the KCSO.
Nice.
Corey Stacy driving.
And Kern County Fire in second. Supermoto Open Pro feature, Dustin Hoffman.
Not the actor.
Not the actor.
No, the actor that played
That'd be a
Tootie.
good story, though.
Was it Tootsie?
Tootsie.
Right. Yeah. Tootie was on Facts of Life.
Right.
Tootsie was the major motion picture.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is not him, but Dustin Hoffman really dominated. He won the Dash for Cash, won the heat race, and then backed it up with a great unlimited feature win as well.
Moving on now to the Sport Am feature, Ernie Lyles with the victory.
58-year-old Ernie Lyles.
So the
beating
first
all
one,
the youngsters.
He finished third. Now he goes in and wins this thing.
Yeah, well, he finished fourth in the AMA Amateur National, and right off the podium. And then Saturday night, really did a good job. Needed a little luck there, but he was reeling in Cliff Sullivan, who was the early leader. But Sullivan stalled his bike in the dirt section, and Ernie was there to take over the lead.
So, Mike, that's just inspiration for you to get the javelin back out and start to run again. There you go.
I wish I had the javelin.
The legends, not the road course legends, but
the
short track legends. Tyler Bannister with his first win of the season, right?
First win of his career.
Is that right?
In the INEX Legends. So
very happy. We call his name so often.
Yeah.
That I felt like he would have won at some point.
Yeah, two-time champion in the Bandoleros,
Right.
moving up to the Legends last season, and had some success, but had a kind of a rocky start to the season, with that crash that shot a piece of something into his leg where he, was out for a race. And just glad to see him back and really performing well. They worked their tails off on that car, and he dominated, leading all 30 laps of that race.
Congratulations to Tyler Bannister with that win in the mini stock. Austin Wilson. Now, there was a story here with Austin Wilson, right?
Yep. 14-year-old cancer survivor. Was diagnosed with cancer when he was young, 3 years old, and just into remission now. And just an amazing story. I mean, I get emotional just even thinking about it. I said the embrace between the father and son when you come out and you have this dream of racing, and he raced a little bit last year and then really his family dedicated themselves to getting this car up and running and to get that win. That was a pretty amazing feat.
So, Destiny, go back to that for a second. Then Destiny Joplin finishing second.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that's really the story of this one. Destiny started racing with us last year in the mini stocks and was really a back marker in the 33 car. They purchased the 5 from Sam and Pierre Pichet, and she was challenging for the win late in the race. So very proud of her.
Very good racer in mini stock. Moving on now to super stocks, the Milkman, Perrin Kuchtra with the win. Tell me about this race.
Oh boy, Crash Fest 2016 here. Talked to a lot of the drivers that were involved in some of those crashes. Everybody's working real hard. The great thing is, if there's a silver lining to all the cars that crashed on Saturday night, is that they have 7 weeks to repair them before the next Superstock race. But a guy that we didn't call his name very often during that race was the number 1 car of Perrin Kuchtra. Actually had a flat tire before a caution. Was actually pulling into the pits when the caution came out. And so that kind of saved him, kept him on the lead lap, and just kind of avoided the carnage. And lap 26, boom, here's the number 1 car taking the lead and leading the final 4 to get the win. So it was pretty exciting. Craig Rayburn, Ricky Bird with his best finish ever. Ken Kanata, one of the new drivers in the NASCAR Superstocks. And then Gene Fife had a shot to win that deal before he and Eric Sunnis got together in turns 1 and 2 late in the race.
The interesting thing we're talking about with Perrin Kuchtra, going back to the super stocks again, is that doesn't always win a lot of races, but always racks up the points to be right there for the points championship.
Championship year for Perrin. Didn't win a race. He didn't win his first race until last season when he and Johnny Bedingfield were duking it out for the NASCAR championship.
Right. All right, late models. Buddy Shepard with another win with Cole Adamo. I'm sorry. Racing Vernon, Lance Wilson, Hugh Stubblefield. What's going on with Buddy Shepard?
He's he's the one to beat. I mean, the car is dialed in. They've committed themselves to racing all the late model races at Kern County Raceway for the season. We're excited about this list of drivers here. You see 10, 15, 20 laps of changing positions and side by side and door handle to door handle. We're trying some new things to increase the car counts on this. It's an experiment for us, and I'll give you some more news on that if we see some actual results coming from that. So,
well, very good. Steve, what else is planned for you guys coming up in the next? We need to put on our calendars.
Well, the month of May is going to be a big one for us. Only 2 races in the month of May. Of course, we're off this Saturday night. We'll be back in action on Saturday night, May the 7th, with Eyewitness News Night at the races. We'll take the following week off as far as stock car racing. And then on May 21st, SRL, the Spears Southwest Tour Series, makes her season debut at Kern County Raceway. Nice. And I'm not going to give this up yet, but a little teaser here. It's going to be a very, very different format is what we're planning on. Then we're not ready to make the announcement, but a very different format for the SRL Southwest Tour.
And you still have your morning gig on KUZZ?
Yep, Mondays and Fridays, race report on KUZZ, 7:35 a.m. Friday we do the preview. Monday we do the review.
There you go. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Steve Hughes. Thank you so much for joining us.
We'll
see you next week. After I'll take a quick break, we'll be right back with more here on the Power Hour.